Today is Tuesday, June 9th. It is now 9 o'clock. We will call the meeting to order and have our invocation by Reverend Carl Flagg from Mount Tabor First Baptist Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Harvey. Please rise if you're able to do so.
Good morning. Let us pray. Almighty and everlasting God, it's once more and again we have the privilege and the pleasure to call upon your name. Lord, first of all, we want to thank you for a brand new day, a day that we've never experienced before. God, we thank you and we praise you for our legislators. We thank you, God, for our administrators. And we pray, dear God, that even as they go through this agenda today, that you will give them the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, the discernment, and everything that they need to make best decisions. Lord, we thank you for all of those who make up this audience today. We thank you for all of our citizens. And dear God, those who are representing our future, who have been outstanding over these past weeks in their tournament, God, we just pray that you will bless and refresh each of us, renew and restore us. God, help our county to be a grateful county. Help us, dear Lord, to work together, to pray together, to stay together, and do your will together. Bless our community at large, and we will give you praise and glory and honor, both now and in the days to come. It's in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. And just as a reminder, please silence your cell phones. All right, before us today, we have the approval of the minutes from the May 12th, 2026 meeting.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the minutes stated in our packet.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, we will recess the Board of County Commission meeting and convene the Port Authority meeting. Approval of the minutes from May 12th.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the Port Authority minutes, May 12th.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, any public comment on Port Authority items? There's an opportunity for public comment further down on other items, but this is particular to Port Authority. All right, seeing none, we'll go into our quarterly port report by Mr. Suggs.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Sullivan apologizes. He had some mechanical issues this morning and wasn't able to make it on time. So I'm going to give a brief update if I could. I just want to let everybody know, the Port Authority know that the completion of our bulkhead and dock reconstruction design is 100% complete now. So we'll be moving forward, hopefully in the near future with some bids for that. Also, we have resubmitted our Port Infrastructure Development Grant for $10 million. That was submitted last week. We've also are in the process of submitting for FSTED funding for approximately another $2.6 million, which is Florida Seaport Transportation Economic Development Group. Also, DOT has came down and done their annual review and inspection. And so we want to just continue to say thank you to them for their support as well, because they've been very instrumental in helping us with funding for our port. And lastly, Mr. Sullivan, as your port manager, has been appointed to the Florida Ports Council transition team and FSTED bylaws team, which is also going to give us a little more insight as to more funding opportunities and participation with both those groups. So just want to give a quick shout out to Mr. Sullivan for that, and for all the support that you five that serve as both the commissioners as well as the Port Authority continue to give administration, Mr. Sullivan out there at the port. Great things are happening, and as soon as we get the design plans and all back in, we'll share those as well. So thank you very much, and that concludes my report.
All right, very good. Is there any questions for Mr. Suggs? Any general discussion? All right, seeing none, we will close the Port Authority meeting and reconvene the BOCC, and we'll go into presentations, starting with our 4-H volunteer, Ann Adkins. Is she here? There she is. Oh, Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us. I'm Jeannie Hauk. I'm the 4-H agent, and this is Miss Ann Atkins. She is one of our 4-H volunteers, one of our master gardeners. She's also part of the Putnam 4-H Putnam Beekeepers Association. And we're here today to tell you about some summer camp opportunities that we're going to offer this summer. We have 12 total. 3 of those are put on by the University of Florida, and we'll have 9 that we'll offer at the Extension office, anywhere from Youth Naturalists, which starts tomorrow. We have a sewing camp. We have a space exploration camp, as well as a 9 to 5 Are You Ready College and Career. And we also have a beekeeping camp, which I'm going to let Ms. Ann tell you about.
So I want to thank you for your support to the Ag Agency that allows us to do this. The beekeeper camp is going to be 10 students, and all 10 will go home with a complete beehive at the end of the course.
Oh, my
The
goodness.
course is 2.5 days. So we got a lot of learning to do, but there's a lot of support after that. We have the adult beekeeping club that parents can join, and we also have the 4-H regular, what is it called? Not camp, I'm so used to camp right now, but the regular meetings. So I'm a 4-H leader, and I have the regular meetings and everything, so they have plenty of support after. Florida State Beekeepers Association donated all 10 boxes, all the frames, and the bees and everything, and the suits, and the tools.
Wow,
So FP&L is also donating $1,000, so we're gonna be using that to buy everything else a student needs. So when these 10 students leave the camp, they will be full beekeepers.
All
So,
right.
What are the age groups?
11 to 17,
Okay,
Wow.
yeah, so.
That's
we-
exciting.
We do offer a lot of support, and we hope their parents and the students will join our clubs afterwards so they can continue. So,
and for your other programs, what are there different age groups for different programs?
yes, the regular 4-H camp, she can, or I keep saying camp, 4-H meetings is 8 to, what, 18?
It's 5 to 18.
5 to 18.
Right. But our camps, we have different age categories on this form. I believe you guys might have
We
one.
do.
Great, wonderful. And if anyone in the audience is interested, I have some. They have QR codes listed. The camps are all reasonably priced. And if there's a hardship, we can definitely approach that as it's needed. And it's not just for 4-H youth, it's for any youth in Putnam County.
Great, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, we appreciate everything you do.
Did Laura get a copy of this so she could share it?
Looks like you can go to their website as well to get information about the camps or call.
Good deal, good deal.
All right, next up, we have Babe Ruth District Tournament.
Thank you, Commissioners. If I can have our Babe Ruth board members come join us as I begin talking. As you know well, because most of you came out to one or both of the tournaments, we hosted both the Palatka District 3 baseball tournament and softball tournament. And those were 2 long weeks of a lot of ball played, and these kids showed up and showed out. So before we honor the kids, I first want to take a minute and honor and just give my appreciation to Parks and Rec's teams. Kyle and our turf care team did an amazing job. He contended with a lot of rain through the baseball tournament and worked diligently to get those fields back up and operational and working so that those games could go on. Many of those games was well into the night after rain delays, and Kyle and his crew were there into the late hours of the night and back again in the wee hours of the morning to make sure these kids could play ball. And that made the difference between them playing ball and not playing ball. Chris and his team took care of the facilities, making sure trash and restrooms and all the things that we never think about, but are required if we're going to have a tournament and we're going to have a good image of it. So appreciation to them. Board members from Babe Ruth, will you join me? I'd also want to recognize the board members that you see here. These board members work diligently through the season, and yes, most of them have a child playing on a team. But what you don't see is they're there every night of the season, making sure that all the children in the program have an opportunity to play their games and on their teams, and umpires are there, and the balls are there, and all the things that go behind what we do when the kids are on the field. And so without them and their organization, our community wouldn't have the recreation league that we do have. I'm going to give Babe Ruth an opportunity if they want to speak before we call the kids up.
I guess that's me.
Your Honor. George
Young, as now soon-to-be outgoing president of Palatka Babe Ruth's board. I'm told now that I have to practice brevity. I can't come up here and talk to you like you're a jury anymore. I got to get the speech in and get out. So the best way I know how to summarize our appreciation is just say thank you. We came to this county 4 or 5 years ago with a challenge that we would build a recreation program with some advanced teams if we had the facilities, and this county went above and beyond. I can't tell you how much it means and the compliments that you got from members of communities all across the state that were here, both at the baseball and softball tournament. A lot of that had to do with your folks, Chris and Kyle. Every time we challenged them with, here's a new problem, they leaped at it and they fixed it. It was incredible. We even had folks out there slinging hamburgers on their own. But we came to you with a proposition to build our program, but we needed facilities, and you went above and beyond. So we have now hosted 2 softball district tournaments here in this community and the baseball tournament. So all I can do is say thank you. The only way we pulled this off on our end are the folks you see right back here. Jessica Lake, Chuck Romer, Tyler Harris. I harassed them daily about every detail there was, but they had this in hand. They did all the coordination. They did all the hard work. We had tons of volunteers, which was incredible to see our Babe Ruth community, our Babe Ruth board step forward like none other and participated. And so I understand you got a lot of things on your plate and big things to deal with, but for a moment, you can see what we have been able to do. You've had over 370 kids playing baseball and softball this past spring, 370 in this program. And now you get to see some folks that are reaping a lot of the hard work that they put in and moving on to the state tournament. They've done an outstanding job. The coaches are amazing. We've got a great program, but we couldn't have done it without what you did for us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With that, we're going to have our Palatka 12U team join us, the boys. Boys and coaches, if you'll come on up. So let me brag on these young men that you see here. All the teams that you're going to see here today, their journey was met with blood, sweat, and tears. But it was also met with a lot of hard work, commitment to their teammates, and perseverance. And so today we want to honor that. These guys in particular, they started game 1 and had a torrential downpour and ended up with a 2-hour rain delay where they came back that evening late into the night, losing the game at that point with 17 minutes left on the clock. And they got to work and they got it done. So they won that game and they came back the next day and they won their championship game. So with that, Mr. Suggs has a coin. If I can have one of the coaches just call out each of the children's names that's with us, and then we've got coins for anybody that's not here. And then we'll take a picture of the boys and then we'll move on to each of the girls.
Start right here. Number 16, Nathan Brown. Number 5, Luke Driggers. Number 10, Hunter DePriest. Number 23, Clay Vault. Number 14, Sam Baker. Number 35, Cruz Becker. Number 3, Connor Cheshire. We're missing a couple that couldn't be here, so.
Good job, bro. I've got it in the truck for you, Walt, don't worry.
All right, on 3, 1, 2, 3. And again.
guys.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
We'll give him some else.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll go on the shelf in the office.
I don't think you can do it.
We did. We did.
Commissioners, next we have our 6 and under Palatka Panther girls team who took first place in the tournament. And we're going to do the We're going to do the same thing. We're going to introduce each one of them. We'll take a picture real quick.
Okay.
All right, number 13, Cohen McLean. Number 11, Macy Merwin. Number 16, Emerson Brady.
Emerson. Go, Emerson.
So's got to hold on.
Number 29, Penelope Evans. Number 20, J.C. Michler. Number 5, Annalia Ward. Number 1, Maribel Kennedy. Number 3, Finn Lee Willoughby. Number 7, Peyton Mullis.
Yep.
All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3. And again. One more. One more for the parents. Parents. Come on. Grandmas.
Very good. Thank you. Congratulations. We'll hold our comments to the end.
And last but certainly not least, our 10U Lady Vikings, who came in second place of 9 teams. Their division was quite large. They ended up having to play 5 games over 4 days, and they persevered to the end and came up second place. So with that, we will do the same. I have number 15, Molly Miles. Number 3, Zoe Romer. Number 2, Maddie Kelly. Number 20, Callie Weaver. Number 10, Ashlyn Young.
She's so excited.
Number 99, Piper Lake. Number 00, Emmeline Waldron. Number 5, Kennedy McNeil. And number 75, Mackenzie Friedel.
You want to go? Get up on that. All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Commissioners. The only person that was not able to join us tonight from the Babe Ruth Board was Seth Miles, softball commissioner, and again, we couldn't do it without him. As you can tell, the parents are proud. We're proud as a community. These young people are going to go and represent us now on a state level, and we wish them all the best. So thank you for the opportunity to recognize them.
Ready to go first? We have some commissioner comments, starting with Commissioner Palatka.
Mr. Young, where'd you go? There you are. You and your team are to be commended for all y'all done for the youth of our county and giving them a place to go that is top shelf. I was out in that area on a ditch drainage issue, I don't remember, and somebody had told me, said, you need to swing by the park, you'll be impressed. That was an understatement. I made a circle around the Francis Park, and it was just unbelievable. The professionalism. I mean, it looked like I was at Dodger Stadium or something. It was just amazing. And I'm so proud that we're putting the money to support our kids like this.
Yep.
Means a lot.
Yep. Thank you. Commissioner Alexander, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As a former Babe Ruth coach, I coached for 4 years, traveled throughout the state with my boys, and also my daughter played Ivy and Tucker. To see the improvements that our staff has made in the facilities to bring it into a class act operation that rivals many that we traveled to in the state. Mr. Kenny Downs is right there in the audience. I coached his grandson as well, who's now playing college ball. Had a couple of my guys going to college. It's a big deal, boys. I'm looking at y'all. I'm looking at you girls. To accomplish what you have and bask in these moments, the kids you see around you will be the friends for the rest of your lives. Enjoy.
Thank you. Commissioner Harvey, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Always say it's easier to govern when you have money. And years ago, we didn't have a whole lot of money. The county was at a no growth factor and money was draining. But we made a commitment years ago, and Mr. Young, I appreciate that we wanted to partner with those who wanted to partner with us. And we put this board, the previous board, put a lot of money into parks and recreation into this county for the young people of this county. Because I'm not going to go out there and play ball. I'm getting too old for that. I am throwing the ball every day because I tried to do the first pitch and I was not too good at it. So I'm getting better at it. But truly, this is what this community is about. This community is about investing in our young people, investing in our youth, investing in those volunteers who want to come out and give up their Saturdays and their days in the week and their night times to go out there and support these young people and to invest in them. And I'm just honored. It's my honor to sit here and to be able to do that. And we're pumping money into a lot of fields, a lot of parks and recreation throughout this county, but it's a big county, trust me. And there's a lot of opportunities. So thank you, volunteers, and thank you, board, and thank you, children, for understanding that this is part of a group effort, and we want to be a partner with you just as much as anything. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Newbold, you're recognized.
Thank you. I appreciate the invite from staff to come out and see the activities at the field the last 2 weeks. It is just, it's nice to be able to go out and watch them all as a team, watch the teams from all over the region, and just sitting and listening to parents from other places coming into Putnam County and going, wow, we got to step it up back home. Because that's not what we're used to. We're used to traveling and seeing bigger and better in other places, and it is money well spent for our youth. So, thank you, staff, and thank you, parents, and thank you all the participants who played. So,
All right, one more. Commissioner Alexander, you're recognized again.
I apologize. I did miss something. I would be remiss if I didn't mention it. You hear nothing but bad comments. You hear a lot of that. But when I see our team out there, our staff was out there every day, every weekend. That's above and beyond what they signed on to do. They have a commitment to this community that a lot of people do not see. And I got to say, I was very proud to be associated with those three over there this weekend. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner, yeah, I just moved you up. Mr. Suggs, you're recognized. Or down, I'm not sure.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And Commissioner Alexander, thank you for that, because it doesn't need to be understated, the amount of work that went into putting these two tournaments, not only on, but getting them through, especially the previous weekend with the weather. Babe Ruth and everybody involved with it has to be commended for shifting schedules, moving game times, start times, and things of that nature. You know, your turf crew, from 5 a.m. in the morning to 10 at night, because games and schedules got changed with the rain, making those events happen can't be understated. And you've got 3 teams that are here today. You had just shy of 40 teams in the softball tournament, and I believe you had 40-plus teams in the baseball tournament. And three of your teams are right here from Putnam County being recognized today as winners and runners-up. So those are your winners, you know, today. That is phenomenal. The support this weekend from the parents was phenomenal. And yes, Mr. Grimes probably cooked more hamburgers and hot dogs than McDonald's did this weekend. So, you know, that was a tremendous, it's a full team effort. It really is. Want to go back to what I said last commission meeting, that if you hadn't had an opportunity to see the process and the progress that's been made at those facilities, you've got to go look at it, because from everything from turf maintenance to clay to fencing, to your lightning detectors, to your mowers, to your additional staff, everything is working the way it's supposed to work out there, you know. And Putnam County was the benefactor for 2 weekends in a row. And then my wife and I would, in between games, would go grab a sandwich somewhere, and the places were full of baseball players and softball players. Yep. So Putnam County was a huge winner. But thank you to everyone that participated. Thank you to all the teams that are here this morning, the coaches, Babe Ruth, and the and staff. And again, JR and Julianne did yeoman's work out there. It was unbelievable. And so thank you guys for the support for what you're doing for Parks and Rec right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Suggs. And then I just want to say thank you to all the volunteers. I know you put a lot of hard work into this. It's two weekends, but it's a lot more hours than just the 2 weekends that you've spent here. And I want to thank this board, because we did make some changes. We put in some restroom facilities out at Francis. No more portalets, hopefully. So that's a big deal, but a lot of other things too. And I just want to say thank you to the board for their investment in our parks and recs. And I want to say thank you to the parents, because you have to dedicate a lot of your time to do that, to be part of this, and to, you know, you're really investing in the future of these children. And I just want to say thank you for that. And then lastly, to the kids, I hope you really enjoyed your time, and continue to work hard and be the great people that you are. And we are so appreciative of you guys for the dedication you put into this season. And we hope you do it next year. So with that, I'd just ask all the adults to stand up and give our kids a standing ovation. Thank you. Next we have on our agenda, I'm not sure if everybody wants to stay, but we're moving into another presentation. If we want to take a few minutes we'll just take a few minute recess while everybody takes a break. I believe we have a presentation by Krebs. Is that correct? No, I have something before that. I'm taking a point of privilege. Is there a presentation by Krebs? Morning,
Good
Mr.
morning,
Stout.
Board. I'll give a little background as to what we're here for today. A few weeks ago, when we had some discussions about the speed limit signs going up in the school zones that would let traffic goers know what their current speed limit is compared to what's posted.
Right.
And we talked about getting those feedback signs done. Mr. Krebs called me after the meeting on his own accord and said, hey, I watched the meeting, saw that the community was worried about some school zones and speeding, and I want to know how Krebs Land Development can help in the purchase of those signs so that we can help the community as a company. And so I told him what the discussion was, how much those were, and Stuart and his company would like to sponsor 2 of the school locations in full, and he's here to present a check today, and I'll let Stuart talk to you guys.
As you guys know, we have a lot of trucks running up and down the road, and just coming through those school zones, the flashing lights are cool, but if it has like a registered speed on it, it just grabs your attention, you know, a lot faster without having to look down. I mean, so when we seen the need, we thought, what better place to put some of the money back into the community than right there, and especially with us having such a large footprint with vehicles driving, you know, around the county. But yeah, so we just decided that's what we was gonna do.
Very good.
And
Thank
as
you.
you know, Krebs Land Development they do a lot of work for our county, and they do have a large footprint as far as traffic is concerned. And so Public Works really appreciates him calling and what can we do, and so he's here today with a $16,000 check to give to the county to support those 2
Wow,
schools.
very good.
Your picture? Come on up.
Thank you so much. I'll let him do the picture with him.
Oh, okay.
You guys are all in. All right, 3, 1, 2, 3. And again. One more. Thank you.
Appreciate it very much.
All right, next up, we have Lori Parker from HR. And while she's making her way, I just want to say what a wonderful community we live in, that we have people that are dedicated to our youth and people that are dedicated to making our county better. And this is just one example of that. So thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sorry I interrupted you. I thought you were
No,
finished.
you're fine.
This is a recognition for Employee of the Month. We received nominations from employee peers and managers who recognize the employees who have exemplary service. And the Employee of the Month is Allie Gilbert from Sanitation.
I asked Miss Allie if she wants to say something, and I got an emphatic no. So I'm going to say a few words real quick. I just want to, first and foremost, thank Miss Allie for her dedication to the sanitation team and for what she brings. She's willing to step in wherever we need her. The only thing we haven't done is put her on a piece of equipment, and I bet she would do that if we asked her to do it. She fills in where we need her to fill in. She handles all of our procurement aspects and lining up, trying to get us the best prices and try to be as fiscally responsible as we can in the sanitation department. That all goes through Miss Allie. And so with that, she's very deserving of this. We're very grateful for her and for all that she does for our department, and we just want to say thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations. We'll come forward for a quick picture, yep.
All right, on three. 1, 2, 3. And again. One more. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations, Ally. Great job.
All right, thank you for that. Congratulations, Miss Allie. We appreciate all your hard work. For our folks in the audience and who are watching, we want to honor an employee every once in a while just to give them some good credit where credit is due. Going into our planning and development public hearing.
Good morning, Board.
Good
For
morning.
the record, Ethan Thompson presenting Land Development Text Amendment LDC 26-000001. This is the second reading of the proposed ordinance. As required by statute, it has to be heard twice, and at the first hearing on May 26th, the Board voted unanimously to conduct the second hearing today at 9 a.m. This is an application by Zach Ford requesting an amendment to the text of the Putnam County Land Development Code, Chapter 45, Section 1036, requirements for the Type 3 family subdivision. As a reminder, we have 6 different methods by which someone in Putnam County could subdivide or alter their land. The Type 3 is the one that we're going over today. The 3 most important requirements for the Type 3 is that you have to have an agricultural future land use designation, you have to be zoned agriculture, and the subdivision must meet the density or provide a qualifying residential density exception for immediate family members. The applicant's request is to remove the requirement that parcels that are subject to Type 3 subdivision applications must have an agricultural future land use designation. Kind of another brief overview and a reminder that the agricultural zoning requirement will remain. The standards by which the Type 3 family subdivision are subdivided and the minimum size requirements will still apply. And then this is the text as proposed to be amended. We would be striking designated agriculture in the Putnam County Comprehensive Plan and replacing that with having agricultural zoning when the following conditions are met. Conditions 1 through 4 remain the same. We add some grammatical corrections to 5 with if a county and the dash maintained road and then a dash and 66 foot wide. And then the strike underline inclusion at the beginning is the applicant's proposed amendment, and then the following is staff's, which is that the minimum easement width requirement of 66 feet may be reduced through an administrative variance subject to the requirements provided in Article 9, Division 4 of this code. Section 45-1036 continued. These remain the same. And then as voted on by the commission last meeting, subsection 8 in 1036 will remain unchanged. The Planning Commission had some amendments. We struck those from the ordinance. And then we are some additional grammatical corrections to section 45-1033, adding an S to subdivisions in subsection 3, and then an S to boundary line adjustments in subsection 5. Staff recommends approval of the amendments proposed by applicant and by staff to the Land Development Code as the request is consistent with Florida statutes and consistent with the intent of the Putnam County Comprehensive Plan and the goals, objectives, and policies therein. The Planning Commission at their meeting on April 8th voted 4-1 to recommend approval with some additional changes, and then at the first BOCC meeting on May 26th, the board voted unanimously to hear this application at a second meeting, which was today at 9. They also voted unanimously to strike the recommended amendments made by the Planning Commission. Are there any questions for staff?
Are there any questions for staff? All right, is there anyone in the public who would wish to speak on the subject matter? This is a public hearing. Is there anybody wishing to speak on the subject matter? All right, coming back to the board, I just want to make a comment. I've never liked the 66 feet. Never have. I think it's too much. I think people who grew up here realize that 66, I mean, we don't even do that on our own public roads. I mean, it's just way too much. But I'm glad that there's an option in here that can now be changed. You know, they could go through the administrative variance. But a standard road usually falls between 22 and 36 feet. And I just think 66 is way too much. But at least we now have an option for somebody who doesn't quite have a 66-foot easement to get into their property. I think that's, I appreciate that. That's just my comments.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I also, for the record, Zachary Baker, I just wanted to take a moment to come up here and be transparent with the board. After the board gave direction to staff for the second reading, I had a commissioner visit my office and request a modification to subsection 8 of chapter 45.1.1036. It is a material change, but it does not change the intent. Rich, can you please just kind of summarize the procedural elements for when the board has made a decision to move forward and then when a commissioner approaches afterwards, so we can just try to begin that conversation of what that text amendment would have looked like, please?
So if there's one commissioner that wants to make an amendment, generally speaking, from a staff perspective, we want to make sure that it's the kind of the will and direction of the entire board. So once that comes forward, then planning staff and myself will get together and look at what proposed language is needed, and then it'll come back to you. And then with that, as it comes back to you, one of the things that we're currently trying to weigh is whether or not any type of revisions to the language would be more burdensome or restrictive, which would violate Senate Bill 180. If not, it probably would have to wait until after October 1st, 2027. If it doesn't violate those provisions, then it will come back to you for public hearings to process before it would be, for a comp plan text amendment would be transmitted to the state for review, and then it would come back for final adoption, assuming that there's no changes anywhere in the process. If there were material changes in the process, then it would come back and have to start over the first reading process.
All right, so I'm understanding that none of those changes have taken place in this. This is simply the true text amendment, and then if there is a will of a commissioner, they'll come back later.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Is there any questions or discussion? All right. What's the board want to do?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the ordinance as amended, the ordinance of Putnam County, Florida, amending Article 12, Land Development Code for unincorporated Putnam County as amended by ordinance 2025-12, amending section 45-1033, classification of subdivision, and section 45-1036, requirements for type 2 subdivision, family subdivisions, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for an effective date, case number LDC 26-0001-Ford, Putnam County Ordinance 2026-009 for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I've already asked for that. Is there any other public comment? All right, yeah, I did ask for that earlier. Thank you, though. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Going into a Public Works public hearing on request to vacate a portion of Pine Street.
I'll field any questions if you have any for staff.
We did, I'll start then. We did receive a letter after the first mention of this in our last meeting, of somebody who has some concerns. Have you seen this?
I saw that this morning, from, I think the gentleman lives on Maple Terrace, which abuts to the applicant's property, but is not on or bordering Pine Street itself. And if you see in the packet, there were no utility or law enforcement or fire problems or objections to the vacate, and the applicant owns every piece of land around the parcel that they're requesting to vacate, and it is undeveloped.
All right. Commissioner Harvey, you have a question?
Thank you, Madam Chair. That answered my question, one of them, because the gentleman did send an email to me saying that some other properties would be landlocked, but I didn't understand that. And then he said for future development, there was some big parcels, but future development, they can access that property through their own property.
Correct.
So, yeah, I have no issues at all. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone wishing to speak on this item? Is there anyone in the audience? You can come on up. This is a request to vacate a portion of Pine Street. Please just state your name and address for the record, and then go on into public comment.
Patricia Ketch, 101 Rainbow Drive, I'm in Jacksonville, but Florida. I got the notice, and I didn't really understand what it entailed.
Okay.
Like the gentleman said, that property owner owns all the surrounding property. We had an issue during Hurricane Irma where my tree fell across the road, and the people that own the home, when you make that 45 on Pine Street, they had to drive through my property to get out. I had roof damage, I had other stuff that I couldn't get to the tree at the time, and people that volunteered with the hurricane came through and cleaned up the tree, and I believe a neighbor cut the tree in pieces and kind of moved it where the woman could get in and out. That's my biggest concern, is for those people that, I think when I called, the young lady said that the street won't be closed. So when you make that 45 and get to that woman's home, that street's gonna still exist. But I don't understand why, what is the benefit of doing this if the original plot of the properties were plotted out for a road to be there? When I look at a road that would, or why this person wants to do this, there's no, I don't understand how it's gonna affect down in the future. So I'm kinda confused on why are we doing this? It's been that way for 50 years that I've owned property there.
Is it a developed road as far as you know?
No, it's a wooded area. And I kind of thought that somebody was using that to get in and out of Maple Terrace, but that when I drove past there last week, there was trees down. Or in the, are you live there? No. No, I don't know who lives back there, but I inherited the property when my father passed away, and I haven't physically been there in 2 years.
Right.
So,
My understanding is the gentleman who owns, or the people that own the property on each side of this platted road want it closed, and that they basically, it's not used right now. It's not at anything, anything other than some woods and a little trail. Yep. Okay. All right. So are you
I mean,
here?
it's fire rescue. I mean, if anybody wanted to build the road back there, they're only gonna, they can't get to the water anyway, so you own the home. Okay.
Yeah, yes, ma'am, that'd be fine. And I will say, in my experience, that if fire rescue needs to get somewhere, they'll get there. Whether they have to go through a gate or knock down a tree, if they need to get to the place they need to go, they have the ability to do that. That's a concern that we've heard from a lot of our constituents over the years for different things. I mean, I had it recently during the fire. They were like, well, there's a gate. Well, I can assure you they'll get through that gate if they need to. Yes, ma'am, go ahead. Please state your name and address.
Good morning. My name's Carly Dennison. I reside right there off of Maple Terrace and
Okay.
have multiple land parcels. So just the other roads are not affected by, and that one person that lives off of Beach Drive, that's really the one that has to get out on that road on the opposite side of Maple Terrace. She can go both directions. So if there's a tree down on one end, she can go the other way or however. So there is no blocking of any resident there.
Okay.
That little section of road has been overgrown since, I've lived there since 2014. And it was actually something that, if that road gets, assumed by myself, I'm giving 20-foot easement from a canal lot that I just purchased next to that neighbor. And it'll go directly to the canal for access for drainage.
For drainage,
So it actually, to me, is a better choice, because the drainage that it looks like it started from that road is it goes through the parcels, so it's kind of strange. But anyway, that's really it. And I want to clean it up, get all the trees, the dead debris, and with it being so dry out there, I'm concerned. I'm currently a firefighter with Jacksonville. I'm concerned that if somebody drives their side-by-side through there, plus I just cleared the canal lots, you can't see that at night. So if somebody comes driving through with side-by-sides, four-wheelers, they're just going to go off in the canal. So I'm concerned with that, and that's why there was some debris to block that, because people don't know when they're not from there. So we've had some issues in the past, but that's the main reason for the closure. And that way I can clean it up and get all that stuff out of there and put good trees. So, and you know, just make it look nicer for the neighborhood. So, but there will be, just so you know, there will be a gate access, and that I was going to approach that about fire rescue or anybody to get through, even if Clay Electric or who needs to access that road at some point, it will be cleaned, and there'll be a gate on both sides of that, just for my access as well. So that they will have access, the county, just not, you know, the neighborhood going through that path. But if they ever have to access, they can.
If I can ask a question, so we did receive this letter, and he indicated that you had already put a fence up there blocking that access. Is that true?
So that access on my road, on Maple Terrace, where we live, there is a gate up there because we had some issues where people were driving through, carrying tree and debris and run it down the road. So we put gravel, we maintain that road, which he's not really a part of that because he doesn't live there yet. But that road takes a lot of money to make it nice and to keep it where people, you know, the garbage truck, the mail lady, and all the other people that come out there.
But this is a different area,
It's Maple Street, Maple Terrace.
Oh, okay.
So that corner is where Pine Street drops in to Beach. So, but to keep that from happening, and it actually, you know, people who don't live there, they come from other, you know, developments, and they want to have fun, and I understand that, but it creates issues when people actually want to walk, and we have, you know, smaller animals of the same nature. So all that stuff will be coming down, but that was just because there was just trees in the way, and people are just driving through there and dragging debris. So it's been there for like 7 years. So I don't know. I think just because I started clearing the lots, people are starting to realize that there's actually more to it than just trees, so.
All right. Are there any questions for the applicant or Mr. Stout? Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, back to the board.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the request to vacate portion of Pine Street and accept a drainage easement in return. A resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Putnam County vacating a portion of Pine Street and Lakeside Hills, Section 10, in accordance with Section 336.09 Florida statutes, closing and abandonment of roads authority, in Section 336.12 Florida statute, closing and abandonment of road, termination of easement, conveyance of fee, resolution number 2026-041.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and second. Any further comments? All right. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, going into consent agenda items, A through N. Yes, go ahead. Oh, thank you. Public comment. This portion of the agenda is designed to allow citizens an opportunity to bring matters to the attention of the board. It is not reasonable to expect the board will engage in debate or deliberation about matters on which the board has received no prior information as part of the agenda. Please limit your time to 3 minutes. Public comment cards are conveniently placed at the meeting room entrance and should be submitted prior to the meeting to the deputy clerk who sits to the right of the podium. This is on consent agenda items and new business. We will have a public comment section on miscellaneous items once we get through the consent agenda. Is there, do you have any cards? Okay. Is there anybody wishing to speak on consent agenda items? All right, seeing none, we'll go into any commissioners pulling an item. Commissioner Alexander?
I have none.
Commissioner Newbold?
I have nothing to pull.
Commissioner Harvey?
I have nothing.
Commissioner Pelletier?
I have none.
And I have none.
Madam Chair, I move consent agenda items A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, and N.
Second.
All right, we have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, new business. We have one item under new business on your revised agenda.
Madam Chair, may I go to the podium?
Yes,
and
this is,
Mr. Ritchie, could you join?
Yes, if we can get I think there's a map that needs to be put up.
Madam Chair, fellow board members, I want to say, you know, it's amazing what we can do when we don't take credit individually. We're a team here, and we have been, and even prior boards that we served on are a team. Commissioner Alexander happened to be in a meeting with FDOT and got some information on this vital, important intersection that we have been dealing with. I remember Representative Van Zant deal with it, Representative Payne deal with it, Representative Sapp is dealing with it, and now it looks like we got some movement here on a new design of County Road 315 and State Road 100 in Grandin. You know how bad that intersection is. So first of all, I do want to thank Commissioner Alexander. I want to thank our entire board, but DOT today is looking for some type of credit, some type of letter from us supporting anything that can be done in that intersection. Now, this is just proposed right now, so if you understand Grandin, when you go north on 315, I don't even try to cross that intersection. I go down to where that building is, take a left and come back to the park, because it's really, really scary right there with trucks coming down. Remember, we talked about an overpass there. That didn't happen. We talked about a roundabout. If you remember, DOT thought about a roundabout there.
Yep.
That was, how in the world would you have a roundabout with sand trucks and people coming? But DOT was thinking about that. Well, now they're thinking about something complete. Mr. Ritchie, I don't know how to do that. So it looks like they're going to come down a little bit more. There you go. There's your intersection with lights, with turning lanes. I think this is probably, I'm not a traffic engineer, but to me, this might be one of the best proposals we've seen in a long time. So DOT has asked if we would give them a letter of support as a board, and that is the request today. And again, thank you for this board and the work we do together. And I don't care who's in which room, as long as we're promoting Putnam County, I'm all for it. So, Madam Chair, that is the proposal right there.
So as it looks, if you'll just stay for just a second, as it looks, there's going to be red lights at that intersection?
Yes, looks very
Okay.
much so, yeah.
There's been a big push for that for many years. Commissioner Pelletier, you're recognized.
So I can see they're putting in turning lanes and all that, but they're gonna put red lights right there?
Pretty
You have
much
to come
looks
to a
like they're gonna put lights up, yeah. That's a proposed idea. Now, DOT has to go through, first of all, they're looking for a letter of support from us, and then they'll go through the public meetings, and then they'll put it in the design phase. So there's a lot of work still left to be done.
And I understand that part of it, but a red light at that intersection, I think is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I absolutely do. You're gonna come, that's a curve. Been driving through that as many years as you have, Larry, Commissioner Harvey. That's a complete stop and a straight up hill.
On a hill.
If you're coming the other way, that's cresting the top of that hill. If there's a red light down there,
And you're
those
backed
big
up.
sand trucks coming down, that's just I think whoever drew that is looking just like we are right here, not been on scene.
Well,
That's my opinion.
and it might be what they're putting out there, and it might not be the end product, so we'll have time to massage that as we go.
I
All we
love
can-
the turning lanes. I think that's great.
So my ask is we go ahead and support something today to move this forward, and then let the process go, and let our comments go from that point on.
Commissioner Alexander, you're recognized.
I can appreciate what Commissioner Pelletier said on that. What I've seen done in other areas is there's a pre-warning at the top of the hill on the other side of the hill, and hopefully they could incorporate something like that. But I'm with Mr. Harvey on the fact that something needs to be done along that 100 corridor, and this just may be a precursor to drive more attention to that area, because that 100 corridor has been a problem, as we all know, for many years. So any help that we can get and any assistance to further shine the light on that corridor through FDOT's eyes, to me is a move in the right direction.
Commissioner Newbold, you're recognized.
Yeah, I would agree with Commissioner Alexander. I think in the previous slides, they are talking about having some pre-warning as well built into the plan. I witnessed for myself, down in Crescent City, where we recently installed a new four-way, with enough warning and enough, forethought, we can achieve this in a safe manner. I'm glad to see something positive out here on 100. So I'll support the recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Is there another, there's 3 slides here, you've shown us all the slides. So you had the existing and then 2 recommended slides and that's it? Oh, we haven't seen that one. Okay, hold on. So that's the Lake Butler
Where's
Trail.
that located? I'm trying to.
They're putting those warning lights up that tells you that the light's turning ahead, and one of them's, it's 1,100 feet from the intersection, so it'll start flashing when the light does. I mean, that's how they're triggered. So, I mean, that should give people plenty of warning to stop around the curve, because as soon as it turns yellow, that light's going to start flashing and warning people that and it's going to be on a delay. So you got 1,100 feet and 1,200 on the other side, just so you guys got a reference.
Okay, thank you. Is that what you had on your light for, or do you something else? Okay, thank you. I do share the same concerns that my colleague Commissioner Pelletier has stated. I do have concerns about trucks coming down that hill or cresting over the hill, and then there's a line of traffic. But I do know that something has to be done, and a roundabout isn't necessarily the answer. I like the fact that they have the advanced signal warning flashers, and I'm glad they're looking at doing something in this section. I'll support this today, but I am going to be cautiously watching this to see if that's where they end up landing. Commissioner Newbold, you're recognized.
At the 4-way in Crescent City, the addition of the rumble strips in advance of those lights made a big difference. It's not a very intrusive, they're built to be operable at speed, really brings a driver's attention to, an impending issue ahead. So, the addition of some rumble strips on each side, coming down that hill, coming up the hill from the other side might be an option.
But in all fairness, are the people that are going over those rumble strips going 60 and 65 miles an hour in that area? Because that's what happens here, is they're coming down the road, they're coming down 100 at a good speed.
They may be, but those things are this tall. They put them on interstates, and they're designed to grab your attention without slowing you down.
Commissioner Alexander, you're recognized.
I think that we may have someone in the audience that wants to comment regarding.
We do. We have a couple people, but you had
Okay.
your,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Commissioner Pelletier.
I want to be, for the record, I want to be clear. I thoroughly agree something needs to be
Agreed.
done. 110%. I like the turning lanes. I like all that. My question, and Mr. Grimes, I don't know if you know this or interpret this. At the top of the hill, if you're coming east, there'll be some sort of a warning device beyond the crest of the hill telling you there's a red light that's turning red or is red. Is that right?
That's what I'm saying, is it's when you're starting to come down the hill, it shows it.
That one.
You got to see it before you come down the hill.
Yeah.
When you come down the hill, you know it's red.
It's 1,200 feet, so almost a quarter mile from the intersection is where you're going to see the signal ahead. And the other one, from what I'm seeing in here, it doesn't necessarily give a measurement of where that stop ahead is. But I mean, we face the same thing. I mean, I'm just going to give you another example. Is at Cayuga Road.
Yeah.
Cayuga Road's got some flashing lights out there that flash on Cayuga Road when a truck is entering the intersection. So there is some other safety warning devices out there. I think the preliminary look at it is something, because I mean, when you do have a dangerous crash in that intersection, it is usually a bad one.
Yes.
So I mean, it's something that's definitely got to be done. I think this is a good start. I'm not saying that there's not room for improvement in it, but just a first look, not a bad plan to start with some additional features in there. I think we'll have another stab at this with more features moving forward than today, right? I mean, this is just a letter of support, getting something started in that intersection.
I'm going to side with Commissioner Wilkerson on this, that anything is an improvement and a start, but this I don't think is the total answer right now as it stands, because a red light right there is just bad business unless there's not ample warnings far away from that letting you know that light is already red ahead, so you got plenty of time to start braking, because you crest the top of that hill. I'm thinking about those sand trucks
Me
coming
too.
from Vulcan Materials out there. They crest the top of that hill loaded. red light, that ain't gonna mean a whole lot to them. I mean, it's gonna be bad business right there.
It's not a problem if there's nobody in front of them,
Absolutely.
but we don't, you know,
Yeah, the crystal balls
Right.
might be broken that day.
yep. All right, we're gonna take, some public comment. Yvette Reyes. Thank you, James.
Good morning, Yvette Reyes, P.O. Box 253, Boswick. Thank you for bringing this forward, whoever brought it forward. I personally don't drive on 100, and I go 315 when I have to go that way. So putting a traffic light there is huge. Regarding the cresting on the hill, on State Road 17, where they did the new highway, we had the same issue. There's the hill coming in at 60 miles an hour, and you couldn't see that traffic light that was there. I contacted DOT.
You talking about at the county line?
Yeah, well,
Okay,
no, in Green
and-
Cove.
yeah,
It's
where the,
new-
okay.
The new highway is, I can't
Yeah.
remember what number it is. So there's a hill there that we're coming at 60 miles an hour, and you couldn't see the traffic light. I contacted DOT about it, and what they did was, on the other side of the hill, they put a new traffic signal sign, and they have blinking lights now.
I gotcha.
So there is enough room on the other side of that crest on 100 to make the truckers aware, or traffic aware, that there is a new traffic pattern. So I ask you to support it personally as a citizen who uses that road constantly. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Scalepi.
Hi, Mike Salepi, 358 East River Road, East Palatka, Florida. Many of you know me. I'm actually a pretty good subject matter expert in this case. I have a certified paving level 2 degree. I've been in asphalt paving my entire life. I have 30-something years on the job. What you're looking at here in these plans is not a set of plans. This is an idea. So DOT has not got any of this set in stone. So you have options to adjust, you have options to add, you have a million different things you can do with this. This is not anything ready to go. That being said, you're gonna have months, if not years, of hearings before you even get this idea put on a set of books. I think I haven't been driving as long as most of you, but I've probably driven this intersection more times than any of you. I think this light can be potentially very well. Your concerns of the hill, the other concerns besides visual, you need to understand the road itself. It is an asphalt paved road. Those trucks loaded are gonna shove that road. So DOT is gonna have to come in here and redo that road to support the weight for a stoplight. So the ideas of warning lights and everything are only part of it, because you know you're going to have a road that's going to be able to stop those trucks faster, is what I'm saying, not just letting those truckers be aware of it. So there's different things that they'll use, different types of materials that will actually help friction build and stop those trucks better. So I think you guys should support this. You definitely need to make your voices be heard moving forward, but this is by no means a set plan. I know your concerns are that, you know, it's going to be more danger than a help, but as it stands right now, if they just threw a light up, you would be correct. But what they're gonna have to do to put that light in is a very different matter.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Yeah, I appreciate that. I support it. I think there'll be an opportunity, Commissioner Palacier, as we move forward, to have whatever comments we need to have, but I support it. All right, what's the, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we all sign the letter of support that DOT is requesting.
I'll second that, Larry.
We have a motion, a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you. Public comment on miscellaneous items. It's the same thing I've already read. Do we have any public comment on miscellaneous items? I'm done with reading things twice. Thank you. Kenny Downs. Good morning, Mr. Downs.
Good morning. I'm Kenny Downs, 2020 Ashbrook Lane, and I didn't look at an agenda before I came, and I'm a little bit late on this, but I came to thank you today. 8 or 10 years ago, I was chairman of Babe Ruth, and I talked with the administration and about the problems we had there because of the whole project had run downhill pretty bad. And
You're referring to Francis?
that's exactly right.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. And so after hearing and seeing what I saw today, that's what it's all about. Madam Chair, I appreciate your drive in helping get that done. I understand from a really good source that you are a driving force for that, and I thank you for that. I also want to say that the new restrooms and concession stands, I had brought that to the administration 8 or 10 years ago, and they said, well, we got the trails coming through and we're going to put some restrooms in then. The trails must have stopped, but anyway, I thank the Babe Ruth people, but I didn't know that everybody'd be here today, so I'm late with this, but I wanted to come.
Or maybe you're just perfectly on time.
I wanted to come and thank you today for the people in the past that use the restroom, and if 3 or 4 people that use the restroom, then it would overflow.
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank you for the people that were here today that are using it right now.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for the people in the future that are going to be there. It's a beautiful field. I went out and looked at it. Y'all have done a great job, and I want to compliment you. I also want to compliment the Babe Ruth leaders and what they've done, because believe me, if they hadn't been pushing and shoving, it would have never got done.
Yes, sir.
Remember, I talked to Bobby Payne about it, and he indicated, I think we can do that, Kenny, but the county's got 5 things they want. He said, I think I can get 3. He said, will you go talk with the county administration? And that's when the trails were going to come through and put that in. So I backed off and said, yeah, we'll wait another year. Well, promises made and promises kept. Madam Chair, I thank you. You were in the meeting with Bobby Payne, and you were and you're driving this, and the whole commission has been here supporting this today. And I think that Babe Ruth is well on its way to doing a great job, and it takes a tremendous amount of work in doing that. I was out there for 2 years every night. Let me tell you, when an issue comes up out there, you got mostly mamas out there. And it's like a match. You strike a match and you hold it up. Well, if you don't put that match out right now, tomorrow morning it's going to be like 9 Mile Swamp on fire. And you don't want to make mamas mad, so I try to put out fires every night. So I really appreciate what they've done and what y'all are doing. And Madam Chair, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. It was a team effort, and we had to work with the city, because one of the challenges we had was getting the sewer out there. So we worked with the city. So we want to say thank you to the city, because we were able to get. Now we have city sewer out there as well.
Yeah.
So that was a big holdup.
It was. Let me tell you, I went out and I had Tom Wall come out and drain the drain field and all that stuff. And the lady that was over recreation at the time, she said, "I'm not paying for this." I said, "I've already written him a check. This is the project that we're trying to get done and get it done right away."
Yeah.
Well, it's 10 years later. Instead of my grandson playing at Babe Ruth, he's playing at Virginia Tech next year. But there are a lot of little children coming every day.
Yes, sir.
So I thank y'all very much for that.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Downs. Thank you. We appreciate it. Larry Flamen. I don't know how to say your last name.
He'll give us a lesson here in just a second.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Larry Flamen. I live at 204 Perry Street on Pomona Park. I've been a member of the Friends of Dunn's Creek for several years. The park is a hidden gem of Putnam County. The main park is located off Cisco Road near Pomona Park with another entrance to the Blue Pond area off of Route 17. The two parks total over 6,000 pristine acres, and they have over 60 miles of trails that are available for hiking, walking, horseback riding, and fishing. Occasionally, groups are allowed for boondock camping. The parks is underused asset of the county. The Friends of Dunn Creek purpose is to help maintain the park and to assist the rangers in recreational events. Besides individual enjoying the park every day, some of the larger events conducted in the park are a Mammoth March, where approximately 1,000 people hike the trails for 20 miles in 8 hours. The more energetic people, there's a 100-mile race over 24 hours in the park. The Audubon Society has found the park to be an excellent area for bird watching. Burning for Birds is an exercise and informational event to show how prescribed burns in the park promote bird habitat. In that vein, Cornell University has donated $5,000 to promote Burning for Birds to help the quail population and monitor their development. The Friends also help in maintaining programs where hundreds of orienteering event, where members of the NROTC throughout northern Florida participate to learn map reading, compass use, and how to navigate through unfamiliar territory. Recently, the state, with a generous donation from a Friends of member, were able to purchase over 2 acres in the Blue Pond area of the park. The state was also able to construct a large burn break to connect the two parks. Eventually, a trail will be conducted to access the park's recreational activities. I have recently been elected to the board of directors of the Friends of Dunns Creek. As such, my position is to promote membership to the Friends to help us with the park. With a generous contribution of $10,000 from Clay Electric, the Friends were able to purchase with their own funds a UTV to be used in the park. With this purchase, we will be able to help maintain the park. In addition, I will be able to escort the public through some of the park's backcountry in the future. Right now, I'm not able to do that, but I will be shortly. Most people who visit the park are not knowledgeable of the expanse and diversity of topography in the park. I'll be able to take up to 3 people at a time through some of the backcountry and hopefully gain more members to help promote the park. I'd like to invite everyone here, including the gallery, to please contact me through the friendsofdunnscreek.com, and should you wish to explore the park at the future. Thank you. Any questions?
Are there any questions or comments? All right, thank you, Larry. We appreciate all you're doing in that area. You did mention that it was an underused asset of the county. I want everybody to understand it's not the county's asset. We don't own it. It's the state asset. It is in our county, and we appreciate them being there, but we also would like to see it, and I think we've talked about that openly. I know I have, and my colleagues to my left have as well, that they'd like to see more done at that park, not on you, but on the state, because of the management plan that's in place. We want them to implement their actual management plan, which would include more camping and more opportunities. Yeah, and I'm not so sure, I'm just throwing this out there, I'm not so sure that maybe we write a letter, maybe we make a resolution, maybe we do something to further that along, because we've all stated publicly that we know that if that's a great opportunity for us to have more revenue into this county on multiple levels. And we've met in Tallahassee, I know you have, we have with our state legislators, and they seem to think it's going to happen, but I don't know.
Well, they seem to, I agree, they seem to think that it's going to happen, but there seems to be some type of disconnect between our legislatures and FDEP, and then the rotation of the administration in DEP. You talked to one person this week, and they're gone the next week before any action's taken. They've been kicking this can down the road since this thing was approved in 2018. So I don't know how
I'm just
we
throwing
move
out there, I don't mind us,
Yes.
if we want to have a conversation, or we having it right now, but I mean,
Yeah.
if we want to support a letter or a resolution or something to let our state legislators know and DEP know that we would really like to see this park open. I mean, I know it's open.
Yeah.
But really go to the next level with it, because there are state parks throughout the whole state, obviously, they're a year, 6 months out in camping. They are booked solid.
We've talked about that numerous times. I can't think of any county in this state that would not love to have 6,200 acres with waterfront availability, a venue for concerts, events, and it's just, it's right there on the cusp of it being done. They've got, they've developed a tremendous development plan, and it's been approved, but no action has been taken. How do, that's my question as a new commissioner. How do we push this forward? I mean, like you said, a letter, do we write a letter? What's the next step?
I think we should look at doing both. We can draft a letter and bring it back at the next board meeting, and possibly a resolution. We did.
Yeah. Well, we all, as I've said before, we all bring a different skill set to this dais. You've got multiple years in Tallahassee, and I would love to have your help in helping lead this forward, because you've got my full support, and I'll do whatever I need.
That's a good volley. You volleyed that really well.
Yep.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, I mean, you've got the experience. Help me out, or I'll help you. Let's do it.
Commissioner Newbold, you're recognized.
I would, in full support, absolutely. I am happy that, a commissioner from a different district, sees the value to the whole county and to the state. But I would invite partners to help us in this process. I'm sure the Chamber of Commerce could add their weight to the request, and we might as well pile up a few letters of support while we're at it.
Well, that's a great strategy, employing our Chamber of Commerce, and any of those entities that will benefit and would like to help promote Putnam County, because I mean, truly, this is a hidden gem.
It is. It could really bring a lot to our county.
Really.
More than it does already. I know it does, but
Yeah.
and we've had a lot of visitors, and I appreciate that.
And the more people we can get involved, the greater it'll be.
And I know you didn't come here for that today, and we sort of went down this path, but we appreciate your presentation.
Thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Okay.
I just want to mention one thing, is that to become a friend of Dunn's Creek, you're not obligated to do anything except enjoy the park.
Okay.
You get, as a friend, you get one free pass a month, every month for a year. So please, if you guys want to join, if you just want to go for a tour,
Okay.
please get in touch with us.
Yep.
Thank
Very
you.
good. Thank you. All right. Back to the board. Are there any other public comments? All right. Back to the board. Commissioner committee updates. Commissioner Alexander, do you have any committee updates?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Commissioner Newbold.
Canvassing board is underway. We're doing our training as we speak. We've had our first public meeting. I'll be, during the upcoming Florida Association of Counties, I'll have a Florida Association of Counties Trust meeting. I'll give a little update on that at the next meeting, but other than that, that's my committee report.
All right. Commissioner Harvey, do you have anything?
I have no updates, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Pelletier.
I like Commissioner Newbold on the canvassing board, and we had our, like he said, had our first meeting, was very, I'm sure, eye-opening for him. He'd never been in one before. I really adore serving on that. It's just fun to me. I like working with the judge and Mr. Overturf and that thing. We've got to have a shake-up in our council because we're going to lose our council. He's stepping up. Mr. Young is going to be Judge Young.
Oh, that's
So
right.
We gotta get us a new council soon, I guess. I don't know how we go about that, but that's going to have to be done. That's it for committees.
All right, and I don't really have anything. So we'll go into appointments. Commissioner Alexander, do you have any appointments? Start wearing you out this morning.
Yeah, I do not
You're
have any.
first. Commissioner Newbold, appointments?
Yes, I have, like to reappoint Michelle Grimes to the Fair Board.
All right,
She's a currently serving member and has agreed to continue to serve.
all right. Anything else?
No, nothing else.
Commissioner Harvey?
Madam Chair, I'd like to reappoint Scott Brauman to the Fair Board Authority.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Commissioner Palacier?
I have nothing today. Thank you.
All right, and I will reappoint Marshall Fulgham to the Fair Authority. All right, and then I have nothing else at this time on appointments. Looks like we're gonna have some Parks and Recs. Looks like it needs some help there.
Madam Chair,
Yeah,
if we could, I do need to get the Value Adjustment Board reappointed this morning if we could.
okay, Value Adjustment Board, who currently serves on that?
That is Commissioner Harvey, Commissioner Alexander, and I believe Ms. Sheila Ledford.
Correct.
Those are the appointments of the BOCC, and then the school board and everyone else will appoint theirs.
Mr. Alexander, did you know you were on that board?
News to me.
He was appointed January 13th. That was when we did the reappointments at your request, Madam
I think,
Chair.
you know what, that was whenever I decided I didn't need as many committees, and y'all took a couple.
I think you had, what, 12 or something?
Yeah,
at
I
one
was there
point?
at
Yeah.
12, so now I'm down, which is fine.
Yeah, I'll take it if the commissioner or commission so chooses.
Commissioner Harvey, are you still good to serve
Be
on that
glad
board?
to.
All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
And I don't think you missed anything. If you did,
No,
I don't think you missed anything.
no, it
I think I
doesn't
missed
start
it.
till.
I might have missed something, but,
It doesn't start till closer to the end of the year, correct?
Correct.
So, yeah, we're.
okay. All right, so, is there a motion to reappoint Commissioner Harvey, Commissioner Alexander, and Sheila Ledford to the board? Obviously, I need somebody who's not on that list to make
So
that motion.
moved.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, anything else? I don't even know if I had to do all that, but I did it. Clerk of Court, Mr. Reynolds.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, Commissioners. I just wanted to take a moment to echo the same comments that were mentioned earlier about the Babe Ruth program and the facilities, the county facilities. They are fantastic facilities. Both of my children have been out there playing at both Francis and Triangle Park, and you know, I can't say enough, can't thank y'all enough for the support that you showed, and also the Babe Ruth program. They are doing amazing things, and so glad to see that, you know, back here in Putnam County. Reminds me kind of the old days, you know, when we had a lot of good rec programs going. So just want to thank that board and thank Mr. Young and congratulate Mr. Young, as was just mentioned. He will be stepping up to be our second county judge, so looking forward to working with him. And also wanted to take a quick moment to thank Representative Sapp and Senator Leak. It's my understanding that in the state's budget this year, we do have funding for updating our ERP system. I want to thank the commissioners, especially for y'all's support of that. It has to survive the veto pen once again, so we will be holding our breath, so to say. Yes, fingers crossed, holding our breath, waiting to see what the governor wants to will do on that. So just looking forward to that, and thank y'all.
And I know you weren't at the last meeting, right? We
No,
did
ma'am.
have a good discussion at the last meeting regarding the gazebo in the parking lot.
Oh, I was late at the last meeting,
Okay.
so I was here for, that discussion. And,
Okay.
anything that we can do to help work with y'all on coming up with strategies to improve that, just let me know.
I think staff's working on that. We'll get back. I don't know that we're ready for prime time on that yet. We're just still looking for some,
Yep.
for some solutions
Anything
and
we can do to
numbers.
help.
All right, very good. County Attorney,
Nothing else, Madam Chair, thank you.
County Administrator.
Yes, ma'am, we got a few comments, but first I know that both Deputy Administrator Young and Deputy Administrator Grimes has something to report.
All right.
I know y'all are tired of hearing about the baseball, softball tournaments, but I'm going to take one more minute of your time. Last year, we spent a lot of infrastructure dollars on Theobald, and this year it was Francis. But I'd be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about that process. Commissioner Wilkinson funded the concession stand and restroom, the largest single funded project of commissioner discretionary dollars to date in our pots. And it made a huge difference, not only for concession and restrooms, we now were able to meet capacity, but also we built it in with a cooling office. And when we had a medical emergency out there, that office became where we stabilized that child until EMS could arrive. So that facility, Commissioner Wilkinson, made a huge difference in the outcome of that weekend and that tournament. Commissioner Alexander recently bought an ABI machine for our fields. With the amount of rainfall we had, we would not have gotten those games in without those discretionary, with that equipment that was bought through that discretionary dollars. Commissioner Harvey partnered with Babe Ruth to make that batting cage come to fruition, and Commissioner Pelletier and Newbold did as well. But it didn't stop there. So when we ran the concession stand, we issued a bid to run the water and sewer lines from the city of Palatka Point to the concession stand. When we got to the pre-construction meeting where we issued the notice to proceed, the contractor looked at JR and I and said, we'll be done middle of July. And we both sat back and went, that's not gonna be a possibility. And they said, well, give us 24 hours, we'll tell you the best we could do. He could move it up to the 1st of July. And so we kind of looked at each other and said, we're still not going to make it. And it's a testament to our teams that we have, because Public Works came up and said, we got you and it'll be done. And it was, amazingly enough. And so it's not just one department that puts something together. Chief Back was helping JR and I put up batting cages, as was Commissioner Newbold as he was doing agenda review with us. You know, it's a testament to our entire county teams as we work together to pull off these wonderful things for our community. So you guys should be properly recognized, and thanks for the dollars that you've put in, but also all of our county divisions that really made it happen.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I agree with that. County Administrator, that was it? You're gonna let Mr. Grimes,
Okay.
the hamburger man.
Yeah, just call me Ronald.
More than McDonald's.
So you guys asked us last commission meeting to come back to you guys with 2 projects of what we want to move forward with. We'll start with a gazebo. I've got a price back of doing it in the neighborhood of about $16,000 to put a new roof, soffit, repair the wood. At that point, I'm going to have to go get a second quote. So if you guys would, I would ask you if you would allocate $20,000, because we're going to get into there and have something that's unknown, and besides us having to come back and delay the process, if you guys, if you so wish, is to allocate about $20,000 to do a complete rework and painting and replace the rotten wood, new roof, new soffits on the gazebo, make it back for use at the courthouse. So that was the first item that we wanted to talk about and see if y'all wanted to move that forward or how you guys wanted to handle it.
I made a trip down to look at the gazebo. I'd never been up there to do anything, certainly not get married.
None of your marriages were there?
I did not realize that deck or platform was concrete.
It is.
I thought it was wood, the whole darn thing, but it's so we've got a good base there. We may have some rotten supports and what have you that could be individually replaced. I tapped on several. Some of them felt solid, some not so much, but I think the $20,000 number is a good number to start out with, for sure.
So you're making a motion?
I am making a motion.
Second.
On the second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry, you made me get tickled.
All of it.
I do.
All right.
The next project that you guys asked for last week or 2 weeks ago was the one that's near and dear to all of us, was shades for the dogs at the facility out there. We've reached out, got a couple quotes. It's going to be somewhere in the low to mid 70s to $1,000 range. once again, I'd request, because there's always going to be the unknown factors in there, if you guys would allocate $80,000 to do the shade structure, that would be a 42 by 240 shade structure for the dogs. And with that, I'm pretty confident I can probably get some electrical wires ran in there and probably some fans just for like in the middle of the complex to keep it just that much cooler. So like I said, the prices we've gotten back so far, without going too much, because there's other quotes still out there, and I don't want to put it on the public record, because I'm still waiting on one to come in, is somewhere in that mid to low 70s mark.
Okay, so I had said that I would be willing to use, if I have anything left, my discretionary funds on that. Was hoping we could all pitch in on that, but, you know, I'm not sure what they have in their balance, but.
Or just a Better Place project or a general fund. I mean, it's just
That's
totally up to
true.
you guys. I mean, how you guys want to fund it. But I was just bringing you back the information. I'm sorry I have not got to the parking lot yet. We were a little busy the last couple of weeks, but
Yeah, I
the
appreciate
parking
that.
lot's the next one on the agenda. I did receive a few calls from the community that supported the parking lot redo. I would like to, I've talked to Ms. McLean at the courthouse once. I would like to walk through it with them and see if there's some additional things we could do before we bring you back a firm plan on the parking lot.
Okay.
I've spoken to Mr. Newbold and I met yesterday morning, because I think you guys kind of made him the landscape czar.
We did.
So he's kind of had some comments, but I think would like for us, maybe if Mr. Reynolds has got some time, is just to do a quick walk through the parking lot so we can all get on the same page. We just did not have time in the last 2 weeks to get that, but we have got the other two projects ready for you guys, so.
All right, so how do we, Board, how do we want to handle the shade sale? Do we want to just,
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, Commissioner Harvey, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Grimes, did you say $70,000?
70 to 80?
Yeah, it's going to be in that, so I would respectively ask for 80, so we could do a little bit of extra additional in there if we needed to, if we got to the point where we needed some electrical outlets or something that we have not just had a chance to get with the staff out there to make it that much better. The fans, I would highly recommend fans in there just to keep the air circulating and moving. I just have not had a chance to land in on quotes on that. We were just trying to get the building. The building's going to land in the $70,000-ish range, and 80 would just give me a couple, $4,000 or $5,000 to do some electrical work out there if I needed it.
All right, so this would probably not fit in a Better Place plan because of lifetime, but possibly, what do you
I'm
think?
actually going to disagree. The entire facility was built out of BPP, and it certainly does meet the BPP threshold at $80,000. It is certainly a capital project with the lifespan that we look for. So my recommendation would actually be to take the dollars from BPP and allocate to the animal
These
control
aren't
facility.
fabric ones, these are.
These are metal.
Metal, that's,
Permanent.
okay, that's why I
True
said I
metal
didn't.
permanent structures.
This
I
will be
didn't
a
know they were metal
pole
until
barn
you-
type structure
Like
with
a pole
8-foot
barn.
sides with a 12-foot peak. We brought the sides down to produce more shade. So, I mean, where our normal buildings are, 12 to 14-foot peaks, this will be about a 12-foot peak and 8-foot sides. So you'll have a little bit more pitch on the roof so
Madam
we
Chair, I
can get the
move
shade down.
approval, since I have the floor.
All right, yes, you
Second.
have the floor. It's in a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. And that was to take it out of BPP funds.
Yep.
Mr. Grimes, you're looking at us over here for the money and the direction to do so. You're sitting beside the banker.
The
Those
banker.
thresholds, they come to you, so we're here to
Yep.
see you today. If you'd like to raise those thresholds at any time to give it to the county administrator, we'd already been under work.
Actually, your
I
bank,
like to tease you
I think
on
we
that.
tried that one time. We raised it a little bit.
your banker,
Right.
All right, any other comments, Mr.
Yeah,
Suggs?
yes, ma'am, Madam Chair. Your video is queued up whenever you're ready for it. Just want to let you know that was done. And we don't get on Facebook. We don't do Facebook. We don't comment on Facebook. But I am going to take the opportunity, sitting here this morning as county administrator, we had some concerns on Facebook this week about our animal services division. And I want to take the opportunity to thank Ms. Erin McNeil as well as Ms. Yvette Reyes for their comments on there. Those who don't understand the process for which we are required to govern through, and they don't understand the leaps and bounds that we've made in the last couple of years out of animal services, I
Right.
get it, I truly do. But if you ever want to just have a tour, come out and take a look, meet the staff, meet the folks that are working, seeing the process and the progress that's been made out there, we'd be more than happy to show you. All you got to do is call and let us know. But if you want to get on Facebook and say the negative things you want to say about this county, my commissioners and my staff, I'll debate you. I have no problem with that. But I'm not going to do it on Facebook. But if you want to come in and have a conversation, we'll be more than happy to do that, because I can't think of a better group of folks that we have right now than Animal Services. And I can't think of a department right now that's doing as many great things as Animal Services because of what they were charged to deal with. And so, you know, I'll go ahead and make that comment here this morning and thank my staff at Animal Services publicly for what they do. You know, it's a tough job.
It is.
But they do a great job with what they're challenged with. So just wanted to say that. And
Thank you.
again, on staff, you couldn't have put a better event together the last 2 weeks. I know we all talked about it, but we've had the opportunity, sitting here now for almost 9 years as county administrator, to put this team together with your support of the things that we're doing. And sitting here this morning talking about the gazebo, talking about Animal Services, the projects, you know, things that are happening in Putnam County. When you get your next quarterly report, you'll hear more great things happen in Putnam County. That's a direct result of those folks that are sitting here today. So I just want to commend them as well for the jobs that they do. And Madam Chair, that's my comments for today.
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
definitely one of the most picked on departments we have,
It
for
is.
sure. But at the end of the day, I realize too that we've come a long way in a short time, and I appreciate that. And it's a testament to the administration, to the board, and certainly to the people that work at Animal Services. Going into commissioner comments, starting with Commissioner Harvey.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I appreciate the opportunity. You know, sometimes in life, us commissioners find ourselves at the right place at the right time. I was telling Commissioner Alexander this morning, I was herding cows one time on State Road 100 in Florahome in shorts and flip-flops, and called Chance Clay to come, and he helped me, and they were his cows that were in the middle of the road. Well, the other day, Commissioner Alexander happened to be on the water and was able to rescue and help with the rescue of our 2 sheriff deputies, being in the right place at the right time and being aware of what we need to do. And we all do this. It's nothing uncommon, but Commissioner Alexander, I just want to say thank you for being at the right place at the right time, and God had you there for a purpose. I want to thank you for the support of 315 and 100. And Mr. Scalepi, you're exactly right. This is the first step. We've got a long way to go, and we'll be able to put our comments in of what we want to see out there. But I'm excited that finally something came along on paper, and I wasn't a big fan of the roundabouts, I will say that. I didn't know how that would possibly work there. But this seems to be like we're going in the right direction, and that community needs that out there. So I thank the board for that. I also want to thank the TDC. You know, when you look at Babe Ruth and you look at all the things that are going on, you know, look at the list of what TDC funds.
Right.
And, you know, when somebody calls you and says, there's nothing to do in this county, pull that list up. Show them the hundreds of kids that go out and play ball, and the TDC supports that. And show them all the golf tournaments and the benefits. And, I mean, something's going on every weekend. And I remember Commissioner Palacier was talking about the tractor pull versus the fair at the same time. You know, that's going to happen because people want to come to rural Florida. Thank God they do. And we hear Dunn's Creek and, you know, underutilized areas, and, you know, it can only go up, right? So we need to get the word out and say that. But we have so many assets and so many good organizations, and we are such a charitable county. It just warms my heart. And so I want to thank everyone involved in Babe Ruth, and I know our staff worked tirelessly out there to get things done. And I watched them lay that water pipe, and they were moving. They were getting it to get that thing open. It's not a small undertaking. And on a final note, I do want to say Republican headquarters is going to open next Monday night at 6 o'clock at 320 South or North, I can't remember which one, State Road 19, but directly across from Kentucky Fried Chicken in the Sherman-Williams Plaza. South. Okay, so please come by and be a part of that at 6 o'clock next Monday night. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
All right, Commissioner Alexander, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for the kind words, Commissioner Harvey. It was just a normal day on the water, and there were some boaters in distress, and I helped them. Happened many times before, and it's nothing that nobody in this room wouldn't have done, but I do appreciate the kind words. Not a whole lot to cover. I think you touched on everything there, so that's about all I've got for today, Madam Chair.
All right. Commissioner Newbold, you're recognized.
I don't have a whole heck of a lot. I think in addition to the Babe Ruth tournament, I think there was a youth golf activity at the municipal golf course this weekend. And I ran into someone uptown who went out there and volunteered for the morning. And there's a lot going on at that golf course, and a number. They read off to me there were 5 or 6 youth programs at the golf course, and there were kids there from Orlando and south. So a pretty big deal in the golfing community. Our municipal golf course is kind of a star. So a lot of good stuff going on. I have a question. We have a insurance committee meeting today, 3:30? 3:30. Okay. I don't have anything else.
Mr. Grimes, you have your light on?
Yeah, I just want to kind of, 2 more things that just came to my mind as Commissioner Harvey was talking, is we actually got to ride around with him the other day, and we went to George's Lake where you guys where you bought the 8 or 9 acres there at the boat ramp. It was awesome. We rolled in there, and truly there was 20 kids and their parents and families out enjoying the spot where you guys bought. It was incredible. One of Commissioner Harvey's projects he asked us to work on was getting a roadway built into there to where it could be traveled. I didn't get a chance to speak to him before the meeting today, but that is done. So the roadway's in there. The gate has been removed, so it is accessible to the public. And when we went in there the other day with him, he actually got to go down and visit with some of the people at the boat ramp, just checking on one of those projects. But it was just a testament of the things that you guys had done that I'd failed to bring back to you that was completed, and the families that were enjoying it. One day last week when we were just out and about, because I was actually driving out to one of the other projects we had going out there, and Commissioner Harvey called me for the 18th time that day, and we actually told him that we were headed out there. He goes, "Well, you didn't call me." I was like, "Well, I'm sorry." So actually, we went and picked him up, and we actually had a good ride, and it was very encouraging to see the citizens using that thing that fast after you guys had just bought it and closed, and the road was put in there. So that was a great thing as well. The other thing, just to mention, because it sometimes get misconstrued, especially on the social media vibe, was the 4-way stop at Union and 308. Just so everybody knows, that is mostly complete. We're still waiting on the flashing beacon signs to come in, but we were trying to get it aware of so people would know it coming into the school zones and making the traffic pattern early in the summer. The flashing beacons are on schedule to be here by the new school year. We had put some signage out for multiple weeks ahead of it that said there was a new traffic pattern coming 6/1 of 2026. And then the day or two before, we said there's a 4-way stop coming, and we put it in multiple languages so people could see it and understand it. We're still got a lot of lashback that we didn't tell them what was coming. But the rumble strips were coming and the thing, but if we remember, the crews were scheduled to work in there on Saturday, but it rained. And you can't put thermoplastic down in the rain. So I had to wait until Monday, late afternoon. They worked into the night to get it put in. So there was a little bit of delay in there of getting the rumble strips and all put down, but the signs went ahead and went in anyway. We had some sheriff's deputies go out and park and try to make warning. Just sometimes we lack patience because things do change. And the easiest way in the world is to go on the attack mode on social media. Our crews did it. It worked out fine. It's going to be a benefit to the community. Hopefully it safens up the intersection there for the children and the residents of the area. But it looks good now. We actually went back and made some changes and put stop signs in both directions. That way if they weren't looking right, they could see a stop sign on the left. So it's on kind of the opposite side coming. So we could have tried to highlight that intersection as much as possible. We put flashing sign trailers down there. I think it's getting better. But I don't know any other way to tell people that there's a 4-way stop sign. But I mean, it is there now. So, but the beacons are coming. So they're just when you order them, it does take a delay to get them here. So those 2 projects have wrapped up this past week. So I just want to keep y'all informed of the projects as we move forward.
Thank you. Commissioner Harvey, you recognize, and followed by Commissioner Newbold.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Mr. Grimes, for bringing that forward. Did I hear 18 times? But usually that's before like 8 o'clock in the morning.
That's true.
That's true. So, when I first came into this building, Commissioner Palatka might remember this. There was a letter in my box, and it was from Rayonier about the lease at George's Lake. It was addressed to me. Me coming out of the business world, what do you think I did? I signed the thing, sent it back to them. Unannounced that I had to get board approval for the lease. I didn't know that. It was addressed to me, and it was, have my name on the lease, right? So we did that, only to find out from the board attorney then that you can't do that. We have to go through a process. But I came out of the business world where you got things done, right? So you're right, Mr. Grimes. When we went out the other day, people were set up with picnic tables. They had their tables. They had food. They were having the best time out there. And I'll never forget, this lady asked me, she said, "Are you here to kick me out?" And I said, "No, ma'am." I said, "We just spent $400,000 to buy this piece of property for you to have it for perpetuity." I said, "We're not kicking you out." But that's the first thing she thought the government was going to do, and we're not going to do that. And I wanted them to know that they were just enjoying family time on a summer day at a lake and having the best time of their life. And I look back, and not everybody's fortunate to live on a lake, live on the river, but that's why we do the things we do in this county. So thank you, Madam Chair, for letting me say that.
Thank you. Commissioner Newbold, you're recognized.
I appreciate the county staff's action at that four-way. It is a great improvement. We got a lot of negative, I don't want to call it press, but we got, negative Facebook coverage on it. And I don't think it's been 2 months. There was a fatal crash at that four-way. And right after that, all over Facebook was, why don't you do something with that intersection? So here we are. And the Sheriff's Department worked well with us. JR and JT's staff were right on it. I spent hours there the day after the four-way was there, and then numerous days after, and it's, all those little things that you put in there added up and make a difference, and people's behaviors are changing now. And it'll be a safe intersection, and it's, great to have it done well in advance of the school. So thank you for getting that done.
Thank you. All right, Commissioner Pelletier, it's finally your turn. Yay! Yay!
I'll jump all around here as I usually do. Thanks again to the Krebs family and their generous support to protecting our youth and just anyone traveling in those intersections around those schools. Mr. Grimes, out at George's Lake where you saw the people swimming, have we got some signage out there that tells them this is public and it's come have a good time?
We haven't put up any signs yet. I mean, we absolutely can, like as we do in any other park. We just now got the road wrapped up. I got pictures of it Friday, and I have not seen Commissioner Harvey since Friday, because like literally we just got the lime rock laid to get a decent road in there. But by the time the first part of the road was done, so people meandered on in there and set up camp, which is great. I mean, and it was great to see the activities. And we do need to put up some signage about no lifeguard on duty and such like that, so that people do understand that there's an inherent risk to being in the lake. But it was just a joy to see. It really was.
Absolutely. Great. I'm glad to hear that. To echo Commissioner Harvey's comments, so glad that Commissioner Alexander was on duty in his boat and able to render assistance and possibly save lives there. That's a great thing. We need more of that. Mr. Suggs, what you said earlier about the people on Facebook and spouting innuendo and such as that, and they're everywhere. They're everywhere. And they mostly don't have not even close to a fact, let alone any part of it. And they just, because it sounds good and they want to stir up the pot, so to speak. So that's out there, and it just is what it is. Let those people dwell in their little hole, and we'll go on with the truth and do the right thing. I'm sorry if I got emotional about the kids and the baseball, but those kids are our future.
Yeah.
And they're very important to me. And I'm so excited that we were able to put in these lightning detectors. I guess, is that the right term I'm calling them? And we've got 3, I think, now coming. And I don't know if we have any more ballparks, but I'd like to be aware of those, and maybe some discretionary money could just come in from somewhere and land at those parks, because that's a very big thing to me, that just protecting these kids and everybody out there that's enjoying these parks. I want to see that continue, because I'm very impressed with that, what it's doing for our youth and what we do for our youth, and keeps them on the right track that possibly keeps them from going down the wrong road. So that's very important to me. I'd like a little bit of an update of where we stand on the design of the VA and IT.
We engaged CRG architects, and they're currently working on all the bid set drawings for that design.
So we're still in the,
Yep.
in the window, in the
Yep,
loop?
they're engaged, they're working towards it. As soon as we get a set of plans that are bid ready, we'll put it on the street, and then, of course, bring it back to you guys.
Okay. Mr. Grimes, we talked about the demo of the old bank building, and it seemed like you had something else you wanted to demo, and we're gonna kind of wrap them into one.
Yes, sir. We're going to try to wrap them all up at the same time when we do the animal services. We got the crews engaged, but we've kind of had them a little bit busy with trying to get the last minute infrastructure and all run into the parks. We got to pull people from their normal jobs to try to do that unless we pay to have it done. So we got to pull the permits and all that kind of stuff. But we'll get it taken down here pretty quick.
Yeah, I just want to be sure everything's steady.
Yes, sir.
I understand
Yep.
that got priorities over that.
Yep.
But I'm gonna love to see those eyesores gone. But I think that's gonna wind me up for today, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you, sir. I just want to remind our commissioners that your financial statements, if you've not done so already, are due by July 1st.
She's just bragging.
I just got mine done yesterday, so I was a little bit behind due. How's our fire station coming in Hawthorne?
It's all but done. I'm looking to get the CO from the building department probably this week. The staff was hired on the first week of June. They do a 3.5, almost 4-week orientation. They're in week 2. So they should be ready to go. Chief Back asked the battalion chiefs last week to go ahead and get their staff and plan ready to go to open it. So I would think no later than somewhere that first week of July that we'll be doing the ribbon cut and push the new fire truck, because it's there. Everything's ready to go. Only thing I'm lacking right now is because I just had some things, it's just getting the landscaping done. As far as like some bushes and shrubs, that PO's been issued, so now I'm just waiting on the contractor to come in and just finish up some last little minute pretties on the outside to make it look good.
All right.
The PO's been issued for the sign. It does take a little while to get a confirmed sign in and sign built, but we've got a prototype that we can absolutely put in there on display. It won't be done by July, but I mean, the station will be up and running, so it's all but done. If anybody wants to take a preview of it before we go out there, just wait till that day. I'd be happy to take anybody out or get with myself or Chief Back and get you out there and take a peek at it. But it turned out very nice.
Well, thank you for being the project manager on that. Your hat ends up being a project manager on several things. So that, just so, as a reminder, that was done through an appropriation, and we want to thank our legislators for helping with that. Fair building, I see the walls are up. Last time I was out there, the walls
are up. The roof should be just probably on this week. We did have a 7-week look ahead, and I'm sorry I didn't bring it with me, of where we're going to be in the next 7 weeks, but it looks like we're going to be honing in on some finals. If we want to talk about it, I am going to need a little bit more help. I can bring it to you guys on the next agenda. Generally speaking, when you put power into something like that, the power company will give you a credit back for the usage of the building, for them running the infrastructure in. However, with this building being phased out and all the long-term mechanical equipment, the power company will not take it in lieu of payment. So the early estimate I got from Florida Power and Light was about $45,000 to run the 3-phase power in from Yelvington Road to the new building, which was not included in any cost because of the phase approach that we took. So we're going to have to put we're going to have to, as the board, we'd be happy to bring an agenda item to the next board meeting, but we're going to have to fund about $45,000 to FP&L to have them bring the power line in, because the usage isn't going to be there for them for the next few years to be able to get a return on their investment.
So help me understand why we would be going ahead and putting electrical to a building that's not finished or not about.
Well, it's going to have some electrical in it. It's going to have the minimum emergency lighting, exit lighting. It's going to be able to have lights in there if somebody was to walk through it, for like high bay lighting for now until we get more uniform. You'll be able to walk into it. So it's just not going to have facilities. It's not going to have restrooms. It's not going to have a kitchen. It's not going to. So you could potentially use it for storage, because the fire sprinkler system will be in it in this phase. But we have to bring power into it to run. Part of it's going to be cooling mechanical equipment. There is some, like a mini split and all in the mechanical area that has to run to keep the equipment that we're buying cool. So we are going to have some power draw. It's just not enough to make the return back to FP&L for their investment.
Okay, and then on the next phase is how are we working on trying to get funding for that?
We've applied for grants. We're probably going to be back in the pool, I would think, next year for appropriations. We've met with Commissioner Simpson, the Agricultural Commissioner, once again, trying to get some support for the project. I think we just got to go back through the legislature one more time to try to get it. I talked to a commissioner the other day. The problem with us saying, okay, we're going to put $1 million to it is every time we're doing that, we're going back to a design table that takes at least 10 to 20% of the project to we've got to get to the point where we cash in and go, right?
Yep.
We got a project started, but we need the full rest of the dollars in order to push that thing to the finish line without having to try to figure out where the phase break's going to be and bids and all that stuff. It becomes cumbersome not only on the architect, but your contractor's bidding it where the actual break line is going to come in, because every time we miss it by $100,000, we got to go back to the table and redraw again, and it becomes cumbersome on the whole entire thing. So, but it's coming along nicely. It looks good. I think it's going to be a pretty building. I think it's going to be something that we can use in our community long term.
Me too.
We just got to try to hope maybe we'll get around to our legislators in the next couple sessions and try to get us some dollars for it. So.
All right, I know Commissioner Newbold has some comments.
A question on that electric. Would that bring it in underground to that space?
Yes, sir. It'd be underground with pad mount 3-phase transformer, because the mechanical equipment in that building for the size and scale it is required, what they say will run more efficiently on 3-phase air conditioners and mechanical equipment.
As I understand it, there's a transformer out there that is substandard at the moment.
Yes, sir.
We could utilize electric from this service to.
I don't think that's going to work, because that's single phase and this is 3-phase, and we've been working with Michelle Esri from FP&L on a plan to fix that, because that one is underpowered too. I think they got a 75 amp. I'm not a transformer guy, but it needs to be up to around 100, 150. So they want to do all that work while they got crews in there working. They want to do it all at the same time. So I would like to bring to you guys probably at the next meeting of be thinking about that. To bring the pad-mounted transformer upgrade costs, and I'll try to get hammered down with Ms. Usry this week or before the next meeting to figure out the exact cost for you guys.
Okay, thank you. I know it's we're having a lot of discussion, but I'd rather have the discussion with all of us at the same exact time, so that way we're not confused and we all have the same message. Gasification plant. I was out there the other day. They moved along on that. Jay, do you want to give us a little bit of an update on, if you don't mind? Coming up and just giving us an update so all the commissioners know where we're at on that plant.
Yeah, so all the major equipment is in, and now it's located in all the electrical got ran by Clay Electric the other day. We are waiting on the MCC, the main control electrical component is coming out of Michigan. That'll be the last major thing to get put in, but now it's just running all the wire, connecting all the pipes. We've installed the nitrogen and oxygen tanks. Both frac tanks have been installed. The propane tank has been put where it needs to be. We put the grinder together the other day to where we can start laying out the conveyors and everything like that. So the major components that are really only left are the MCC and then the auger and hopper. So they are hoping to actually start testing the torch first of next week. We'll be running it off of generator power to make sure that all the microwave torch aspects work as we finish putting everything together. So we're still hoping or looking in the next 2 weeks to start doing all the testing and putting everything together.
All right, are there any questions? That was an update for y'all. Okay. All right, thank you. Julian, do we want to schedule a budget meeting in July? Is a question that I guess we need to have. I'm looking to maybe I'm looking for a workshop, us having a budget workshop.
Then absolutely. Would love to have
all right.
I'm moving to July. Do you want me to propose dates now, or do you want me to work with each one of you guys?
Just work with us, and maybe by the next meeting we'll have confirmed up a time before it needs to happen in July.
And just while you're all here and I can get a little bit of general consensus, would you prefer that to be on the afternoon of one of our existing meetings, or would you prefer that to be a standalone meeting?
You have to have the budget completed by when? August 1st, end of July?
I have a tentative July and max millage by the end of July, and then a final budget obviously by the end of September.
Okay. Commissioner Alexander, you recognized?
I would prefer to confine the meeting to the same day as a commission meeting.
Okay. I mean, I'm just looking for consensus before I start trying to coordinate. 8 of our schedules.
Yeah, okay.
July 14th is good for me.
That's our, yeah, in the afternoon.
I know, we'll move, I know Commissioner Newbold, you're giving me the side eye. We'll move our other meeting, that way we can hold this meeting.
Okay, all right. I think we have a video that we want to play, and it is, yeah. So if we can cue that up, go ahead and cue up that video. Go ahead.
On the 14th is our Board of County Commission meeting. Do you want to do, what time do you want to do the workshop on the board?
As soon as we can, right after lunch.
2 o'clock, 1 o'clock?
Yeah, we'll say 2. Is that okay? Yeah.
2 o'clock?
Yeah.
2 o'clock?
That's
All
what
right.
I got lots of hands. 2
So,
p.m.
we're not going to, we got to waive. Everybody wants to waive?
I'm good
Okay.
on my end.
This is, I'm gonna, if y'all will indulge me for a little bit, this is a video that was taken from a subcommittee in Tallahassee, and it is 5 or 6 minutes long, but there's a very key point in here that I want our constituents to understand. As tax reform was being pushed through Tallahassee, this is the sponsor of the bill, and he had some comments about Putnam County.
Just a couple of things very quickly. This in no way, shape, or form, and I want to make this very clear, has, at least from my opinion, has anything to do with Miami-Dade. Miami-Dade County government is an absolute disaster. I'll say it on the Florida channel. I'll say it to them here. It's an absolute disaster. And quite frankly, I don't know if there's ever going to be a fix to that. And this or anything else won't lead to the fix that is required there. So I just want to be very clear, this has nothing to do with Miami-Dade County. This has to do entirely with the taxpayer, with the Floridian. I appreciate the fact that the counties, the cities, many of them came up and said that they're certainly in favor of some sort of reasonable tax relief. I appreciate that. But the actions need to go along with that commitment. One of the things that I was looking at while the speakers were speaking before you, I was looking at their annual conferences. So I looked at the Florida Association of Counties and their 2025 conference. These were some of the topics that they discussed. Are you keeping your retirement plans up to date? Innovating across medical and pharmacy benefits. Counties at the crossroads, planning for growth under Live Local. That's just 3. For the Florida League of Cities, smart streets, safe riders. Transforming school zones with automated speed enforcement. Navigating challenges and building effective board/city manager relationships. Do you know what was not in there in either one for their conferences? The words rollback rate were not in there. Fiscal responsibility was not in there. Cutting taxes was not in there. Providing property tax relief was not in there. So what are we doing? And I'm not trying to make this a moment where it seems like the guy from Gladiator that says, "Are you not entertained?" I actually really do mean, what are we doing? If you say you're for reasonable tax relief, we've been waiting. We've been waiting. How long is it going to take? If we are here, the question has to be, why are we here? Would we be here if the cities, counties, and other jurisdictions did the right thing? Would we be here if they at least cut 0.1%, 0.01%? The honest truth is we would not be here. To further emphasize that point, just looking at the counties, out of the 67 counties, less than 10 of them actually went to the rollback rate or less than the rollback rate. Meaning that the overwhelming majority of them increased taxes. So what are we doing? Again, I respect and I admire the fact that we have folks that traveled up here and that they believe in reasonable tax relief, reasonable property tax relief, but you have to back that up. Each and every year, every single senator, to my knowledge, at some point, either files for some sort of property tax relief, some tax exemption, some tax credit, and certainly appropriations. Where is that at the local level? I have to give a shout out to DeSoto County, Hernando County, Jefferson County, Manatee County, Marion County, Osceola County, Putnam County, Santa Rosa County, and Taylor County for doing the right thing. For going with the rollback rate and going in some cases below the rollback rate and reducing that tax burden for their residents. If we want to have a serious conversation, I'd recommend that the municipalities, the counties, the jurisdictions don't hide behind the brave men and women in uniform. That's not fair.
You can end it.
Especially when every single member of this committee.
Thank you. I just wanted you to see that because I think it's important that we were recognized in Tallahassee for doing the right thing when it comes to our tax rate. And as you know, this board voted last year to go to the rollback rate, and we have been incrementally over the years reducing our millage rate when we can. So I want to say thank you to the board, thank you to our staff, because sometimes we get asked to tighten the belt, and we do our best to do the best with what we have. Mr. Suggs, did you have a comment?
Not on this matter, Madam Chair, but before we close, I need to update the board on an issue that we're having right now.
Okay, and then I just want to say that I hope that as we go through our governor, and I hope he gets a chance to watch this, or somebody tells him that we did the right thing, and we hope that you don't use your veto pen on our appropriations. We really want our appropriations. We're doing everything we can down here in Putnam County. With that, that's all I have. You have something else, Mr. Suggs?
Yes, ma'am, Madam Chair. It was brought to my attention this morning that we may be having some issues over in our building department with our citizen serve this morning. It was kind of going in and out this morning, but I just got notification that it is actually down to the outside, and they're efforting to try to get that fixed as we speak.
All right. Is there anything else to come in front of the board? With that, this meeting is adjourned.